Okay. New solution. Yeah, bring that down a bit. Grab that. Place it there. Oh. I need my ammo. I'm completely out of ammo, I think. You just started a new run with Alien Life. The testing version, alpha thingy, I'm assuming. Yep, out of the ammo for the nanobots. Completely out. Well, no matter. I'll get this done manually just fine. I will need to place the power as well. And I need to make a trip back anyway. Yeah, it was a preview. Yeah, so if you are a patron of Pyanodon, you can get an early alpha build of Alien Life that is a trimmed down version. It only gives you access to the red science level of techs for Alien Life. You don't get the whole thing because it's still in development. But yeah, it is a thing that you can do. You can start a map now, technically, and then eventually, when it does fully release, you will have access to Alien Life and the rest of the game, assuming, of course, no game-breaking stuff happens. In the meantime, I'm going to leave that there, and then what I'll do is I will, of course, copy and paste this 5 more times, and that will be the solution. It won't have game-breaking thingies because King Arthur said so. Well, mod developers / developers in general say a lot of things that don't end up being true in the end. I will see it when it releases. I will play it after it releases. I'm probably going to wait for a significant amount of time after it releases before actually playing it, because I'd much rather have people like Moral Sniper go in and be like, hey, this is broken, 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 this is wildly unbalanced, this is wildly unbalanced, this is broken, etc. I've had plenty of experience with the regular Pi Suite already, the currently existing Pi Suite, going over what's in need of balancing. Apparently, Immortal Sniper has a very big... Well, I wouldn't call it very big. He has a document of suggestions currently for the current versions of the Pi Suite that, yeah, Pyanodon is just ignoring. For reference, not even paying attention to. Reddit didn't agree with it because a lot of it is taste over anything else, rather than purely balance perspective. There are some things. Where did I leave my ammo? My ammo, I have some here. By the way, you may have noticed that I've got lots of limestone tile. You may or may not have noticed my limestone tile all around the base. Yeah, I've got some limestone tile. placed around the mall to help me navigate the mall a little bit easier, more easily, as I should say. Don't need those anymore. What else can I get rid of? Probably that for now. Gosh, it's getting more and more difficult to just find inventory spaces that I can reasonably get rid of. I don't actually want to get rid of all of those inserters. I can get rid of that cargo wagon, that coal, the chem plants, the assembling machines, technically, the stack of those big tanks. And that'll give me enough room for grabbing more loaders, more belt boxes, a lot more belt. And apparently that's it. Here, take a little bit of the belt back so I can grab a stack of that. And I think I'll grab a couple of more of those so I can shove them into the car, wherever I left it. Vehicle! Take all that, actually, as well as some of those. I'm not actively laying rail right now, so the car... Hey, you can actually take those, by the way. Yeah, your car can take lots of stuff for me. It just makes it a little bit more difficult. Oh, right. That's something I need. Stone water wells. Those are absolutely required. I need a few of them, aka every single one that I currently have. And I guess the rest of my inventory will be a mix of more belt. We'll go with 2K. Those. And then... what else? I think I'm somewhat okay. Let's grab, lamps. Sure, lamps, yes. Must see in darkness, right? Must see in the darkness. Speaking of which, Morrowind is still going strong on Thursdays streams. Going through the Tribunal content at this point, have beaten the main game's main quest and all of the major faction quests. We'll be moving on to Blood Moon fairly shortly, after completing the Tribunal main quest, which doesn't actually have too much left to it. I probably will finish that this Thursday. Then Tribunal will have a faction quest line to go through, as well as a main quest to go through. And then I will be done with Morrowind. Maybe another month of that for weeks or so. Then it'll be time to move on to something else. I have no idea what will take its place at the moment. We shall see. Yes, place the things. Place the lamps. Lamps must be placed. Go my nanobots. Place the lamps that are missing here. There you go. That's why I grabbed the lamps. That's exclusively why I grabbed the lamps. I mean, look at all of this just to process 400 units of tar per second. Then imagine the infrastructure if I also was making the tar on site. Like, okay. That's much. That's much. a bit much. Alright, this is where things are going to start getting a little bit different. Different is how I'll put it. Because that'll go up. And then... Actually, that won't go up. That'll go out and up. Let the stacking commence. So, this whole thing? Yeah, it's gonna get copied and pasted. Not one more time. Not two more times. Not three more times. It was 6 or 5. 5. So, yeah, you know, just that many times, and with the fog there, it got messed up my paste a bit. Feels so good not having to remake this all those numbers of times. Yeah, there you go. Might be a good idea to get a thing here placed. Oh, right. I should have put all of the wonderful poles down first. That would have been a great idea. That would have been a very fantastic idea, had I remembered to actually do it. I didn't remember to actually do it. Oh well. So remember how I had, like, all of the inventory pretty much full? Yeah. That didn't last too long. So much infrastructure. How's the pipe doing? Okay. Pipe is okay. Thus far. Gosh, I hope I didn't make a mistake that got pasted through all of those pastes. What did get pasted through all of these pastes is that this entire section, all 4 of these, are one tile to the right compared to the bottom one. Oh joy. Yep, I'm doing it. I am realigning one tile to the right. I could have realigned everything else one tile to the left, but this is far easier. And of course, if you're wondering how my nanobots are this fast, this needs to be redone as well. The reason why my nanobots seem this fast is because I have set the tick update checking rate to be a lot faster than what it would normally be. I've set it to be checking every half a second instead of every, like, 1 point something seconds. And it queues up, like, up to 1,000-ish things at any one time. So just, again, pointing out here in nanobots, equipment rate 30 every 30 ticks, which is every half a second, and then entities queued, 500 entities queued per cycle. So that's up to 500 commands every half second. And that would have a performance impact at larger scale than what we are now. So as time goes on, I will need to dial that back. And basically this is what we do here is grab these on the output. Now, I will note... Oh, dang it. Of course. Of freaking course. So these are off by a tile. To the left. There we go, now I've grabbed it. All of these last two are off by a tile. Need to remember that it aligns. All of the tailings align. All of the tailings align. Now, did I really need to move everything? Yes. Absolutely yes. Because things will look off from the map view by comparison. And, yeah, I can see people being like, oh god, it's off by a tile. So we need to fix that. Oh, hey, there's the ammo. My ammo! If only I had done things correctly the first time, I wouldn't be running out of ammo so easily. Ahem. Where's my car? Oh, you didn't get moved. Yeah, that's always the number one problem in Factorio is it's off by a tile. In fact, I could argue that it's off by no less than 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 tiles than what it should be. It's off by 6 tiles. This whole thing should be 6 tiles to the left. Technically. But I'm leaving it as it is. I am leaving the gap. The gap shall stay. As long as it's all aligned properly to each other, that much will be fine. But it could be made more compactly if it were 6 tiles to the left. Yes, my rock finder does very well. My rock and tree and medium power pole finder and apparently big power pole finder. How many kills have I had? I've apparently killed 2 medium poles thus far and 2 small poles. Yeah. I don't know what happened with this storage chest. When did that exist? I know that I destroyed a burner miner drill early on. I guess I've also destroyed a storage chest at this point. Oops. So there is a little bit of a issue? Should I call it an issue? With the stacking belt boxes and the loaders, the way that they work. Suffice to say that they're going to output on one side of the belt. And they will prefer outputting on one side of the belt. Such that it will be a lot easier on me if I do put in these lane balancers going forward. Now, that does mean it's actually, 5 tiles off, but no matter. It could be built out this way to even save that space. I could, for example, do it this way. I could do it this way to save even more space. I think I will. And this will guarantee that I don't have issues. Or at least it'll very much help with any issues that I might have. They should output on the other side of the belt if they back up. but in my experience thus far, it actually continues to cause issues. There's something with the throughput that is a bit problematic. So I am this whole setup down here, right? This whole setup down here, these 55 washers making borax. Those 55 washers making borax can technically make 78.57 or 75.71. This, under normal circumstances, would be a full throughput compacted belt. So it would be 15, slightly above 15 per second of the compacted, the 5x borax. It is a bit more compacted than it should be. It's a bit more backed up than it should be on one lane, and it doesn't fill the other lane. For some strange reason, the other lane just doesn't stay filled. Ah, right, yeah, no splitter here. Split, and then do the thing. In which this thing is going to the left anyway, so it should look like that. There we go. And then it's you. Yes? I'm just getting alignment more than anything else. Gee, remember that I brought up like 2,500 units of belt-ish? I have less than 1,000 units left. I remember bringing up a lot of belt. Alright, so these. I think what I'm going to do with these is I'm going to... Alright, that actually covers the next one. So I'll put that there. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to copy and then paste down again with all of the power poles. I'm just going to copy and paste with the power poles in place. Speaking of copy pasting with power poles in place. That sounded like a wonderful idea. That was... Well, I guess this doesn't actually matter so much where these go. Oh, I did one too many. But this ideally should work. And it just ghosts all of the power poles for me, making my life a heck of a lot easier than having to place down every single one of the poles manually at wherever location they end up. I just have to walk around the place to make sure that they all get placed. As long as I have enough power poles. Seems I brought a sufficient quantity. Oh my gosh, just looking at the time, it's like, you've got 3 more minutes left in your stream. What? Where did the time go? Where did the time go? Look at all this time spent just building this. Sandcastings! Who'd have thunk they'd take over an hour and a half? Or that they would take an hour and a half-ish. Alright, last set. Gosh, I hope I didn't mess up anything that got copied over 5 extra times. I hope I didn't make a serious mistake. That should power literally everything. And the soil shall flow. And then the sand shall flow. And then it'll all back up because I'm not doing anything with the tailings yet. Cough, cough. So, tailings. Tailings, tailings, tailings. 750 units of tailings in total across 30 washers. What am I going to do with these? Well, first thing is first, I need to put in a pump, actually, to make sure that everything gets cleared out. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to stick down a gigantic thingy, tank, and then I'll overflow valve into a series of these thingies. That should be the number. So it's 10 for 600. So 10 would be 600, and then another 3 would fully cover it, because that would be 780. But symmetry. Symmetry! So 14. 14 by 60 is 840, so we've got a little bit more than necessary. Always a decent enough idea to have a little bit more than necessary. Always okay to have a little bit more. But this will only start overflowing once this has filled up to 80% or 80,000 units. And it's filling up pretty quickly at 750 units per second. That'll start producing glorious sand castings. The sand castings have arrived. The glorious sand castings have arrived. Now, here's the next problem that needs to be solved. I am outputting only on one side of the belt for the sand castings, and these produce up to 30 per second of sand castings across 15 tar processing units, which means that every 7.5 units, which doesn't exist here, it would need to be lane balanced. Don't you love belt mechanics? In the alternative, I can split every 3 into a belt box, which is exactly what I'm going to do. It's a shame that you need to put a loader before these belt boxes and that the loader isn't actually included as part of the belt box, but anyway. I could just do this way. And I'm not really going to bother with the lane balancing for this. I don't think. So I said every 3, right? So after every 3rd, I will, no, not that. One more. Yeah, that's what I need. Because they're going to be feeding in that way. Oh, please tell me I can jump that. Nope. Not gonna happen. Alright, well. That just means I keep going. Like so. That's 3. I did do the... Yes, I did do the split before. So remember, like the last one, this would be one of those circumstances where it might be better to actually have, you know, a copy-paste job might be a better idea. There we go. That functions. Oh, then just the final 3. Which case you don't even need the thingy anymore. That is the last 3, right? Oh, and then what I need to do, obviously, is output priority. Yeah, that's a much better idea. Yeah, output left, please. I said left. Or even just not have the splitters, just have it go directly into the thingies. Yeah, that might have been a much better idea. Might have been. Alright. I think that solves it. Now all I will need to do is just get this up to the train. This will be the last thing that we do today. The train is here for loading. This is a fully compressed, quote unquote, not a fully compressed. This is some amount of stacked sand castings. I need you. I don't need you, but I will use you. Let's say we go until we actually see the train leave, because I'm pretty sure I have what I need so that we can see the train leave. Which, yeah, that is just one of these little setups. Oh, hello, rail in my way. You know what? That's actually fine. I will move that there. Just for you. And then reverse this belt. Ta-da! That's the coke to the train. Ah, of course, I need to not forget also to do this. Stacked sand castings. Stacked sand castings. Yeah. Save. Haha! Now, once this gets fuel... Actually, I need to add this station, which is the sand castings supply. Wait until full cargo, and then go to sand castings depot circuit condition auto. And that, as they say, should be that. Once the train has filled with sand castings, which will take a good minute. It'll take a good minute to fill up there. Once it's full, it'll head on over to my glorious copper station down here, and it will start filling this chest. So that just leaves then doing the output of the sand castings from this station to here for the casting units and bringing Of course, the borax in as well, and then that completely will sever the dependence upon the borax that's being made up here. That was the temporary initial borax to go along with what was in the starting part of the base. This is our more permanent setup on the borax, and that, as they say, will be that for the day today. Unfortunately, I did not get around to even starting the unslimed iron process. I will definitely be working on that off screen, because you can refer to my tutorial video for the whole unslimed iron setup there. It's just it's just a it's a process. It looks a little bit like so. In fact, this is the order in which you set this up, as well as the buildings that need to be set up to do the unslimed iron processing into molten iron. From there, I'll be splitting the molten iron up into making a combination of steel and iron. But yeah, that'll be that. Well, combination of steel, iron, and eventually stainless steel, and eventually super steel, I would think. But for now, it'll be this, in which this needs borax and sand castings for the actual casting of the iron into plates. You don't see the sand castings here because I don't have the plate casting listed in the recipes here. But when I do plate casting, it will need sand castings too. And this is 12 per second of borax. 12 per second of borax, just to put that thought out there. 12 on the borax. Oh boy, that will be fun. Quite fun. But anyway, I hope you all enjoyed today's video and my not so great explanations of how Train Supply Manager works. I hope that showing by example was a little bit easier to understand than trying to explain it in words. I will say that there is a guide on the Train Supply Manager mod portal page that is a PDF that tells you everything that you can do with it. It is the basics of how to set it up. You can use as much or as little of it as you want. Right now, we've got like four areas, four primary areas at this point, where we are either producing or requesting stuff, or a little bit of both. This copper area, we are requesting borax and sand castings. We are supplying copper and have our depot for copper set up. The mall will have several that will be requesting things over time. We've got our sand castings that'll be providing castings, might be providing some tailings at some point in the relatively near future. And of course, we've got borax that I'm still working on because I want it to also supply diborane as well as the boron trioxide, not chloride. I always get confused between the zinc chloride and the borax and all the other stuff in this game. So with that, thank you all for watching. This has been Otaku Showboat. If you have enjoyed the video and you're watching the VOD on YouTube, don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and if you are so inclined, head on over to twitch.tv/Otaku to leave a follow to be notified when I go live Sundays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays from 10 a.m. to approximately 1 p.m. U.S. Eastern Time. You can do all of the social stuff through the links in the description below this video, including supporting Pyanodon at patreon.com/Pyanodon and myself at patreon.com/OtakuShowboat if you would like access to blueprints or would like to request blueprints that you have seen, setups that you have seen in this playthrough. You can do so through my Discord. That link is below the video, both the VOD and on the Twitch channel. I will, of course, be back with more of Factorio on the normal Sunday stream, and I will be back Thursday to stream more Morrowind. I hope to see you all at some point in the near future.